Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Takedown Talks. I'm here to give you my full card prediction and breakdown for UFC Fight Night Atlanta. Let's hop right into it. Before that, if you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Put your most confident pick in the comment section below. It helps the algorithm a lot. If you want to access my MMA plays or UFC bets in general, join our Discord server. You can reach out to me over there. We profited like 16 units last week. We are up over 8 units by now from PFL and UAE Warriors. If you want to know my UFC bets, join our server and reach out to me. Guide you further there. So yeah, for anyone wondering, it's third party tracked. We move on. First fight of the night, Vanessa Demopoulos versus Jamie Lenhart. Vanessa Demopoulos is coming off that destruction loss against Talita Alankar, where she gave up almost 13 minutes. That's right, 13 minutes of control time in a 15 minutes bout. Her takedown defense has never been looked good. She's coming up in weight class for this fight. It's a short notice fight too. Demopoulos is a striker mainly. She throws a lot of volume. But in this fight, I don't think she has any chance of winning. Jamie Lenhart is a bigger, younger, and a more physical girl. Jamie Lenhart can get the takedowns and keep Vanessa Demopoulos on the ground to get a dominant decision win or even a submission in the later rounds. Give me Jamie Lenhart by decision. We move on to the next fight of the night, Phil Rowe versus Angelusa. Classic striker versus wrestler matchup. Philip Rowe is a long-range striker. On the other hand, Angelusa is a wrestler mostly. Philip Rowe has 5-inch height advantage and over 6-inch reach advantage, which is significant in this match. Angelusa wants to get the opponents to the ground. He took down Gabriel Bonfim 4 times in their last fight. Philip Rowe is not a minute winner at all. He's a moment winner. I can't back Philip Rowe here. He will be losing the minutes. I can't stand anyone who's losing the minutes most of the fight to come back and get the win in the later rounds. Angelusa is so tough. I don't think he gets knocked out or submitted by Rowe. I think Angelusa will take Rowe to the ground. At least first 2 rounds, even 3 rounds. I think Angelusa will get a decision win over Philip Rowe. Yeah, give me Angelusa by points. We move on to the next fight of the night. Ricky Simon versus Cameron Solomon. Ricky Simon is a wrestler or slash grappler. On the other hand, Cameron Solomon is a striker. Ricky Simon was supposed to fight Charles Duran, which was an interesting fight, but Cameron Solomon is stepping in on short notice. He's coming off a loss to Surrey City. I think Ricky Simon will get the takedowns in this fight, get the top control, might get a submission win, but I think Ricky Simon is a safe pick here. Give me Ricky Simon via decision. We move on to the next fight of the night, Cody Duran versus Jose Ochoa. Cody Duran is a veteran at this point. He's a wrestler and grappler in general. On the other hand, Jose Ochoa is a dangerous striker. He also has a background in jiu-jitsu. He's coming off the loss against Leonard Kavanaugh. Jose Ochoa is obviously the more dangerous fighter in this bout, but he's almost minus 200 in this fight, which is crazy. He's only 24. Cody Duran could get the takedowns in this fight and make it easy work of Jose Ochoa. As Jose Ochoa's wrestling defense has not been tested by anyone in the caliber of Cody Duran, I think Cody Duran can get the takedowns in this fight to secure a decision win for him. But there is also another thing we have to look out. There is 10 years age difference. Cody Duran is almost 10 years older than Otheachoa, but I think Duran got this one in the bag. Give me Cody Duran by decision. We move on to the next fight of the night. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. About Malcolm Wellmaker is coming off that KO win against Cameron Simon. On the other hand, Chris Moutinho is making his UFC return after getting a 5 stoppages in a row in the regional promotions. This is a straightforward fight. Both guys are strikers. Chris Moutinho is could be low volume and hittable, but he has good forward pressure. I think Malcolm Wellmaker will get in his face and get a TKO or KO win over Chris Moutinho. Give me Malcolm Wellmaker by first round TKO. We move on to the next fight of the night. Michael Chiesa versus Kurt McGee. This is a wrestler versus wrestler matchup, or even a grappler versus wrestler matchup. Michael Chiesa is 37 years old. Kurt McGee is 40 years old. It's both guys are old heads. Michael Chiesa has good control if he gets people on the ground. The thing is here, Kurt McGee is hard to take down and hold down on the ground. He has never been submitted. Michael Chiesa has never been finished anyone with strikes or KO TKO. I think Michael Chiesa will have a little bit of speed advantage on the feet and a little bit of wrestling and grappling advantage on the ground. Yeah, I think Kurt McGee is short. I think Chiesa will have advantage everywhere, little bit, but it's a thin margin. Okay, don't get exposed too much on Chiesa. Chiesa should comfortably win a decision here. Yeah, give me Chiesa by decision. We move on to the next fight of the night, the legendary Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. Paul Craig, we all know, he is a submission artist. On the other hand, Rodolfo Bellato, he's a grappler generally, but he is striking a lot recently. His striking is getting better and better, but still there is holes in his striking. Paul Craig has literally no striking at all. I think Bellato will box his head off. If Bellato keeps this fight on the feet, he will have significant striking advantage. If Bellato gets this fight to the ground, that opens up a window for Paul Craig to pull off a submission. But I think Bellato will keep this fight on the feet, put his hands on Paul Craig to get a KO win. Give me Rodolfo Bellato to win via TKO. We move on to the next fight of the night. Alonso Minfield versus Omar Sy. Alonso Minfield is coming back after that back and forth war against Julius Walker. Omar Sy is coming off that decision win over Dawn Chong. Alonso Minfield is a striker. Omar Sy is a wrestler in general, but he can also strike a little bit. Alonso Minfield is dangerous on the feet. He can put anyone's light out in the light heavyweight division. But I think Omar Sy will get the takedowns in this fight. So will secure a dominant position, or at least get Alonso Minfield in a position where he can impose his will. I think it's a straightforward pick, but the line is getting a little wide. Omar Sy is like minus 750. Yeah, I think Omar Sy will get a submission or decision win. Give me Omar Sy via submission or decision. We move on to the next fight of the night. Cody Brownage versus Mansoor Abdul Malik. Wrestler versus wrestler matchup. Brownage is coming off that win over Julian Marcus, where he put him out in the first round. Abdul Malik is a strong wrestler. If he can get the fight to the ground, he will pound his opponent's face. He has one of the best ground and pounds in the division, or in the UFC in general. I think Abdul Malik can get the fight to the ground and pound out Brownage. Or even if the fight stays on the feet, I think Abdul Malik will land the most impactful and powerful shots to get Brownage out of there. Give me Abdul Malik by knockout. We move on to the next fight of the night. Garbrand versus Barcelos. Garbrand is a powerful striker. On the other hand, Barcelos is a wrestler. Garbrand is way past his prime, and I saw him in the weigh-ins. He looks a little out of shape, a little fat, and he grew his hair long. I don't know how much he's into MMA anymore, but I do know who's more into MMA. That is Barcelos. He's coming off that one of the biggest upsets in the UFC history against Peyton Talbot, where he was plus 750 or 800, where he got like 7 takedowns against Peyton Talbot, dominated him on the ground, which shows Barcelos still has that in him. Even if he's 38 years old, I think he can get this down via decision or submission. The thing is, Garbrand has not been tested in his wrestling a lot until he fought Figgy. Figgy took him down and rided him out, even got the submission eventually. I think Barcelos can do the same. Give me Barcelos by decision or submission. We move on to the next fight of the night. Shabashian versus Andrade Petroski. Classic striker versus wrestler matchup. I will say it outright. Shabashian is a KO or bust guy. He's a round 1 fighter. If this fight gets out of the first round, Andrade Petroski will dominate this fight. I was a little surprised to see Andrade Petroski as a big underdog. Earlier this week, he was like plus 180, plus 170. The line came down a little bit. He's like plus 130, plus 140-ish now. There's always this trend going on with Shabashian. Whenever he fights below average guys, like bottom of the barrel, he gets them out of there early. After that, he gets a little bit of step up. He loses that. He again gets a layup matchup. He wins. Then he gets a step up. He loses. It's like the same trend going on. I think Andrade Petroski is not bottom of the barrel. Andrade Petroski is coming off a upset win against Rodolfo Vieira, where he was plus 250. I think Andrade Petroski can take him down and ride him out for a decision win or even a submission. Give me Andrade Petroski via decision or submission. We move on to the co-main event of the evening. Classic striker versus wrestler matchup. Namajunas is the striker. Maverick is the wrestler here. Namajunas is a point fighting striker. Try to outpoint every opponent she faces. On the other hand, Maverick obviously tries to take her opponents down to the ground where she has an advantage. I think Namajunas should win this fight, but the odds are kind of wide, but it's closing a little bit. It's tightening up. Rose was minus 350, minus 330 earlier this week. She's more like minus 230, 220 now, which makes a lot of sense now. Yeah, give me Namajunas via decision. We move on to the main event of the evening where Kamaru Usman is taking on Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman is coming off almost a 2-year layoff. Before that, he had a close fight against Khamzat Chimaev. I thought Khamzat Chimaev won that fight fairly. On the other hand, Joaquin Buckley is coming off that TKO win over Kobe Covington, the former rival of Kamaru Usman. Joaquin Buckley put a beating, like an absolute beating on Kobe Covington. Kobe Covington didn't look any good at all. If I'm not mistaken, Kobe Covington was also coming back after a big layoff. There's this trend going on whenever these former champions or former top contenders coming back after a layoff against a surging contender or a good prospect on the rise, they don't do good. In the recent memories, they are not doing good. I can pull up a lot of examples. Sugido against Song Yadong, Kobe Covington against Joaquin Buckley. I think this is a bad matchup stylistically for Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman has to take this fight to the ground in the early rounds. From the early rounds itself, Buckley will have a significant striking advantage, at least in the early part of the rounds, at least for the first 3 rounds. Obviously, Kamaru Usman has the wrestling advantage if he gets the fight to the ground, which he will get the fight to the ground at one point. I think he could have a little bit of success over there, but I think Joaquin Buckley will get right back to his feet. Even when Usman gets the takedowns, he can't use his legs to keep the opponents down like Habib and Islam Makhachev does. His knees are so bad. Buckley is a smart fighter. He analyzes everything about his opponent, even social media, in the interviews, and every single bit of details. I think Joaquin Buckley will get his hand raised this weekend against Kamaru Usman. Give me Joaquin Buckley to win this fight in the second part of the bout. That is it for me, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, comment something for the algorithm below. If you want to access my bets, join our Discord server. The link is in the description. I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace.